So first of all, good evening and welcome to the ribbon cutting and celebration of the new Child Development Center. This building around you, as people here will certainly tell you, it's almost 15,000 square feet and it can serve up to 120 children, which is about twice as many children as the old CDC building could accommodate. It is also the only child development center within 50 miles accredited by the National Association for the Education of Young Children, a designation achieved by less than 10% of early childhood centers nationwide. As a facility with a STEM-focused curriculum, the CDC is a space which sparks children's natural curiosity about the hows and whys of the world in which they live. From the colorful, spectrum-reminiscent patterns of light which shine across the floor of the main entrance, to the raised bed gardens where children can learn about plant growth firsthand, to the demonstration kitchen where children can engage in cooking activities that teach math and science skills, the CDC is a place where children can engage with science as a way of knowing, that is, as a detective-style way of figuring things out, which is essential to modern STEM education. Once upon a time, STEM education often involved having students master the contents of hefty textbooks filled with science factoids. Exhibit A. This is a rather slim one. Be careful, if you drop this, you'll hurt your toe. It's not cool, okay? So back in those days, the idea was to have students mobilize that memorized material when it came to take exams. While such a memorize and regurgitate routine could develop students into excellent exam takers, such people were often less adept at doing science in the real world, where mysteries and surprises abound and known knowns are often few and far between. As such, over time, there was a shift to what is known as science as a way of knowing. Here is exhibit number 2. A faculty member at UC Riverside, John Moore, published this book in 1992, and he really encapsulated a trend that started in the 1980s. And the idea was, science as a way of knowing is a stance which emphasizes the inclusion of hands-on discovery while engaging the scientific method as being key to developing expertise in STEM. This is fundamental since the factoids in that book that I showed you result from something. They don't come from nowhere. They come from the result of science as a way of knowing. So as you see then, given this context, the sciencey features of the CDC, along with its STEM-focused curriculum, provide children with foundational experiences in figuring out the hows and whys of the world. A science as a way of knowing exploration, which will be taken further as they move into K-12 and college education and perhaps beyond, and then into adult life as STEM-informed individuals. So this is very much like the batting lineup at a Major League Baseball game. So I'm now going to have a section devoted to elected officials. So first off, I'm going to call up Anthony Sims, Economic Development Director of the City of Turlock, who is also a Stanislaus State alumnus. Here is the recognition which I will read to you from the city. It says, quote, "Presented by the City of Turlock City Council on behalf of the citizens of Turlock to Cal State University Stanislaus Child Development Center in recognition of your ribbon-cutting ceremony with best wishes for a successful future, signed by Amy Bublock, Mayor, April 30th, 2025. So now we go in front.
Good evening. It's an honor to be here today with you guys. On behalf of Mayor Bublock and Turlock City Council, we want to present this certificate to you guys and be here today and celebrate this achievement with you. So thank you so much.
Okay, next up is Danielle Morgart, staff person with Assembly Member Juan Alanis's office. You have it. Okay, go ahead.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Danielle. I'm from the Office of Assemblyman Juan Alanis, and it's an absolute honor to be here with everyone in celebration of this beautiful building. What makes it even more exciting is to see current and future students connect in our community and give back to our community. So on behalf of California State Assembly and on behalf of Assemblyman Juan Alanis, congratulations and best wishes in the future endeavors.
The third representative is not actually here, so this person is Heath Flora, who has a this is a certificate from California Assembly member Heath Flora. So let's see, that is here. So, Child Development Center ribbon cutting. It says, quote, "On behalf of the California State Assembly, I would like to congratulate you on a ribbon cutting for Stanislaus State Child Development Center. Your dedication to education has distinguished you among your peers. Congratulations," presented on this day, April 30th, 2025. Heath Flora of the 9th Assembly District. So there you are. Okay, now, next in the batting order, President Rios Ellis comes to the plate.
Thank you, Martina. And I'm gonna get these out of the way, if I can. And I think, oh, you know what? Oops, and Christina, I don't see, is there something under here? No. Oh, there we go. Oh, there we go. I was like, you know, I always go off script, so I thought, well, maybe they just let me go wild this time. I don't know. But it gives me so much pleasure to be with you all here today. Absolutely amazing facility. Enrique and I were both founding donors to the facility when I was at Cal State Long Beach as a faculty member, where our kids went through. And so to see this come to fruition here, to know you're accredited and STEM focused and all of this great stuff is just phenomenal. And the weather's even cooperating. It's cooling down just a little bit, et cetera, et cetera. And we are so happy to have you here. The Child Development Center is a place filled with hope, opportunity, and the promise of brighter futures. And I want to introduce you to one of those futures that those of you who know me well know that I'm dying to be a grandma. Right now, I just have a grand kitty, right, who I bring gifts to all the time. No kids yet. But on the way in, I met this beautiful little boy who happens to be my son's and my husband's and my father-in-law's tocayo, because his name is also Enrique. In Spanish, we say tocayo when you share the same name. Enrique, could you turn him around a little bit? Is he not the most? And Enrique will be a student here next year, right? So we're really excited. I'm not going to recruit you for college yet, Enrique, but just know that that will be on the list. And I asked the Child Development Facility, because I love reading stories in English and Spanish, and I asked them, can I just come in once a month? First I wanted once a week, and my chief of staff said, you don't have time for that. I said, okay, just once a month. Let me come in and read one story in English and one story in Spanish to the kids. So I will be doing that if you guys will let me. And I promise not to be so extemporaneous. So I can't wait to see Enrique in that class and be able to read him a story very, very soon. Tonight is even more special because it coincides with our very first 1,960 minutes of giving, which is a celebration of investing in futures, investing in the Central Valley, investing in Stan State, and building opportunity and standing together for student and then graduate success. You've seen so many alums coming up and down tonight. You'll see even more. And we have an amazing, amazing campaign going on. So I just checked. And we're kind of in a little competition between us and Sac State because I think we can beat them, right? I'm not competitive as a president at all. No, my husband's looking at me like, yeah, right. But we are nearly at $260,000 now. Wow. So, and we still have how many hours to go? 20? 21 hours to go. So everyone, please. And I wanted to let you know that the CDC has just $1,000 of that gift and just one gift. So whatever you can give, please scan. If you could hold that up for me. Please scan that. Give whatever you can. What we're trying to do is really amplify the number of donors we have investing in Stan State. And you can scroll down and put the Child Development Center in that space and give whatever you can. And we don't mind if it's a cup of coffee or 5 million cups of coffee. We're fine. Whatever it is, everything counts. So, but this is just absolutely incredible. And I'd like to take a moment to recognize a few more distinguished guests who have joined us. Jack Anderson, can you please put your hand up back there? He's from the Chancellor's Office. Chief of Planning and Design. So he came up from Long Beach today to be with us because he said, this has been my favorite project that I've worked on all along. I love your campus. It is the most beautiful, maybe you didn't say the most beautiful, but I'm going to elaborate, the most beautiful campus. Maybe I said that, Jack, but thank you so much for being with us tonight and for making this happen for us, right? It's so important. And I also want to thank Rose McAuliffe, who is our CFO and in charge of all of our facilities. So there's so much to celebrate on our campus. It is absolutely divine. And, you know, whenever I'm here, I see people walking around, taking photos, doing all kinds of stuff, and just living on our campus. And that's what we want, a place for it to for everyone to come together, especially little guys like Enrique, right? So thank you so much. There's a lot of people that I could thank, but I'm going to move on to talk a little bit more about the intentionality that this space was created with. Every light-filled classroom, every outdoor space, and every learning area was designed to spark natural curiosity, inspire exploration, and create a true sense of belonging from the very beginning. This center is not only a place for children to grow, it is a living laboratory where our students gain real-world experiences that prepare them for careers in education, healthcare, and beyond. So who knows? Enrique could be my gerontologist down the road a little bit, right? And I want to take just a moment and tell you just a little bit about how great Stan State is. Now, when I applied for the job, we couldn't come on campus. There's searches where they're searching for people all over the country. We're flown into Sacramento. We're flown into Long Beach. We go through a process. Nobody knows anyone else. It's very quiet. And when I was called to and let know that I had the honor of serving as the next president of Stan State, I couldn't wait to step on campus. I had no idea just how beautiful this campus is. And I remember walking by and seeing this in construction and seeing it just getting ready to open. It's just absolutely stunning. So congratulations to everyone who had a part in this. I did want to share, if you haven't seen my bookmark yet, they're all over the place. We don't have a big budget to advertise what we do and who we are, but our rankings are all over the place. And they're national rankings. We're second in the nation in social mobility, according to the Wall Street Journal. 9th best public college. You know what number 8 is? University of Michigan. They have a $14.5 billion budget. We have a $165 million budget. I think we are doing an incredible job. And it just gets better. We're 24th best college overall, and that includes Stanford, Harvard, Yale, Princeton, all of those places that charge between $60,000 and $75,000 a year. So it's just an exceptional place. We're also a green college, thanks to all the work we're doing in sustainability. We're 8th best college for veterans in the nation, And it just goes on and on. So if you haven't picked up a bookmark yet, get this bookmark. Y los tenemos en español, right? I transcreated it myself, so it's available in English and Spanish. But we're just making such a difference. And I think this is, Thomas Jefferson said, the most noble job is that of a farmer. I think the most noble job today is a person working in higher education, because we really are about legacy, and we really are about the transformation that occurs long after we're not here anymore, and that's a beautiful thing. The impact of this center will stretch across generations. It supports our student parents, who make up just over 7% of our Stan State community, by providing a safe, quality learning environment for their children while they pursue their degrees. So important. It nurtures young learners, giving them the foundations they need to thrive. And it empowers our future educators, healthcare professionals, and leaders through hands-on, high-impact learning experiences that will set them on a trajectory for success. This center is part of a proud history. From its humble beginnings in the 1970s, when students and faculty advocated for a child development center, to the vision of founding leaders like Professor Emeritus Gary Novak, who is also acting dean. This center has always been grounded in persistence, innovation, and the belief in the power of education to change lives and transform families. Today, we honor that legacy by continuing to build spaces where children, families, and students can thrive, because if there's one thing we know for sure, that is, when Stan State thrives, so does the Central Valley. So I want to express my deepest gratitude and everyone who made this milestone possible: our donors, our alumni, our faculty, staff, community partners, and friends. And I want to remind you, if you're not a donor yet, there is that little screenshot that you can take a look at. It works. Okay, thank you. A heartfelt thank you to California State University Chancellor's Office for your vision, partnership, and capital support. We are the largest university system in the country, 460,000 students. Absolutely amazing what we do. And the engine that really builds California's workforce. Your investment in Stan State and in our youngest learners is a testament to your commitment to equity and student success across the CSU. Deep appreciation to our capital planning and facilities management team for stewarding this project with care and intentionality. The attention to detail, as you can see everywhere you look, is just remarkable. Our sincere thanks to our colleagues in business and finance, also, whose guidance ensured every step of this process aligned with the long-term goals, intentionality, and values. And thank you for believing in the dreams of our students and their families, and for helping us create a future filled with opportunity and promise. I always talk about keeping the Stan State signal really strong, static-free, and this is a really good part of that signal. So thank you all so much. I hope you've taken a tour. And with no further ado, I want to introduce someone that I just met tonight, Dr. Gary Novak, who I think we have so much in common. We're going to be really connected in this process, because I heard about your health science college and what you were trying to do, and I'm like, wow, do I want to... Human and health science, right? Whatever it's called, right? But the health science part is so important, so important. So the founding director of the Child Development Center, you were acting dean for a while, and I have a feeling you and I are going to have to connect about a lot of things. So, and I really look forward to it. It's going to be a pleasure. So please come on.
Well, I'm here to talk about history. Can you hear me? Talk about history. In 8000 BC, well, no, really, nearly 50 years ago, a coalition of student parents, student government, faculty, staff, administrators, and the community came together to create the first Child Development Center at California State College, Stanislaus. Its original name, Child Development Resource and Demonstration Center, or CDRDC, reflected the fact that from the start, the goal was to have a multi-purpose center that not only provided quality care to children, but also afforded college students with supervised opportunities to learn how to teach children and study them. The center opened in fall 1977 in the Sunday school rooms at Beulah Covenant Church across town on Laurel and High Streets. A small number of children, some whose parents were students, were enrolled in one or more of 4 sessions designed to match college course schedules so that students could fit care in and still take classes. The fees were $2 for the entire 4-hour session. That's 50 cents an hour. Excuse me. 4 students with child care certification shared roles as head teachers and as program coordinators. Students in child development classes served as assistant teachers, and I was the first faculty director. The program was so successful that the College Foundation bought the old Kiva bookstore and transformed it into a new on-campus CDC. It was designed originally as a temporary building that would be knocked down 8 years later. That center still served as the Child Development Center on campus until this fall. And that's the history. It's my honor to introduce our next speaker, who is Dr. Rita Asher. Rita came to Cal State with a PhD from Texas Tech University in Texas. It was hard to convince her to come to the Valley, and she stayed for many years, being the longest lasting and most well-known child development director. Rita.
Good afternoon. I guess it's evening now. Thank you, President Rios Ellis, Dean Ramirez, Child Development faculty, all of the wonderful invited guests. What a wonderful turnout. And didn't really know what to expect, but how much fun to see so many faces that I haven't seen in a long time. And it always starts with, I know you don't remember me, but that's always the first line. My name is Dr. Rita Asher, and for those of you who don't know me, I was the faculty director of the Child Development Center for more than 24 years, from 1982 to 2006, when we left to begin our wonderful child development graduate program, which we are also so proud of. That time was a transition to become part of the campus community. And we had shortly before that, as Gary told you, come from off campus. And our job was to blossom into the wonderful laboratory school that is so near and dear to my heart. As director for many years, the most common question I always heard was, what on earth is a lab school? While the word might connote lab coats and test tubes, this lab school is a place of learning for all that it touches. For the children and families, the college students, the faculty. Dr. Novak might tell you that that began when the students researched and chose the colors that best facilitated learning before converting the old Kiva bookstore into a facility for children. That included raising the floors around the toilets and doing all kinds of things that you might not have imagined if you hadn't been there at the time. For me, those early memories include inviting the parents and the children to come to campus for the weekend to build and paint much of our early furniture. Long before we dreamed of this beautiful facility, we built a community, and we found that spirit in absolutely everything that we did. When our pet rabbit, Licorice, broke his leg, the veterinarian graciously came to school for free. He showed the children the cast, the x-rays, and he talked to them about pet care. The children baked and sold cookies to pay the bill. They sat out with licorice in his broken leg in the cast in Bazzini Hall and made a fortune. Licorice's broken foot healed, his cast came off, and the children were empowered to handle a very grown-up problem. The laboratory has always been about the opportunity to collaborate and to learn together. Imagine the opportunities afforded attending preschool in the heart of a buzzing university community. When a child asks about bugs, a visit to the entomology lab is just next door. Imagine picnicking under the stars on an October evening with parents, children, students, staff, and taking turns climbing into the observatory tower to examine Jupiter and Saturn through the telescope, led by the faculty and students from the astronomy department. Or looking forward to every Monday, planting, tending, and harvesting in the agricultural gardens. Or Friday afternoons with kinesiology students and faculty completing motor assessments and games. As a laboratory, the center has always explored the rich tapestry that the university offers in the spirit of collaboration and learning. For our lab students, a gradual developmental progression of education, similar to that experienced by the children, from learning the basics about child development by observing and recording examples of children's development and behavior through one-way windows, to employing fun research paradigms with supervision by faculty to assess children's skills, to learn about such topics as the emergence of children's humor, their abilities to understand emotions or read others' minds, and the fun of watching the lab students who, in amazement, always proclaim, "It's just like the book said." And for the graduate students and faculty collecting data to pursue new research questions, anticipating and analyzing what their findings might mean. At its core, the Child Development Center is always first a place of scientific discovery. And for the staff, opportunities to advance from positions as assistants to teachers to those of master teachers, assessing children, planning and developing curricula, and the fun of seeing these plans come to life with children, college students, staff, and sometimes parents enjoying the activities together. The lifeblood of the program is building a safe, fun, and stimulating learning environment with supervision by a faculty demonstration teacher and a CDC director. What makes this program so special is its focus on helping our students to create quality programs for children, and in doing so, the center has far-reaching impact into our community, teaching child development to the college students who will provide quality-based programs for present and future generations of children in our region and beyond. For the parents who have trusted us with their precious children, it has been our privilege to enjoy opportunities to share with them their child excitement about the world, to support parents' most important, exciting, and challenging job, parenting, and to offer safe and careful support of their children while they attend to employment or further their own academic pursuits. The Child Development Center has provided campus childcare and family support for hundreds of infants and children each year since 1977. As a laboratory school, the Child Development Center has strived to enrich the lives of families by providing parent resources, support groups, and family programming for families for nearly 50 years. The CDC laboratory exemplifies the very definition of lifelong learning to which the university aspires. It has enjoyed a rich history and culture of scientific discovery, and now, in this new state-of-the-art facility, it extends its reach and its legacy. We are so grateful to be in this beautiful, energy-efficient, STEM-centered, designed by architects and faculty to meet the needs of our growing community of infants, children, families, students, faculty, and community members for so many years to come.
So next up, Adriana Denise, a CDC family.
I'm a little short, so bring this down a little. Good evening, everyone. I'd like to start by thanking the director, Stephanie, for the honor to speak at tonight's ceremony. I am one of the parents here, and that's my little one back there. So this is a full circle moment for me, as I was once an 18-year-old university ambassador providing campus tours to prospective students here at Stan State. Even back then, students worried about continuing their education as childcare was at the forefront of their concerns. I could see the relief on their faces when our tours would stumble across the Child Development Center. Hope was ignited in that moment. Now, almost 2 decades later, I could still give that campus tour, probably breathing a little heavier, but with a deeper understanding as I am now a parent. When my husband and I had the chance to bring our child to the CDC, we felt a sense of pride as alumni. Sadly, 2 days before the start of the term, my older brother passed away. I couldn't be more thankful for the CDC staff and teachers. We were welcomed with a tremendous amount of support as I was navigating an overwhelming amount of stress and sadness, as you can tell. They rallied behind us in ways that families do for new parents. They checked in on us, provided extra love and hugs to our little one who was experiencing big emotions at that time, and supplied our family with resources on grief. I truly never felt like I was working with a daycare business or strangers. Amidst the chaos of our family, I was comforted to know that I was entrusting my child to educators who would provide a safe, loving, and engaging learning experience daily, something I couldn't offer her at the moment. This is how I knew this was a special place. Thank you to the teachers and to the lab students. The CDC's unwavering focus on early education continues to amaze me. Its play-based and research-driven curriculum is so profound that our child has been learning at an exponential rate and socially developing even faster. Woo, there are some days. When there are those challenging days, with our little one, we are met with explanation and guidance. As a first-time parent, I am grateful to not have to navigate all these developmental changes alone. To end, I just wanted to share that I had the privilege of knowing a teacher who was once a student of this center. So a teacher here who was once a student when they were a child. The generational impact of this center is truly remarkable. I genuinely hope that one day every child has the opportunity to experience an early education like this one. Thank you.
And whoever's last has to wear it tomorrow. No. There we go.